Avoid conflict. How many times have you worried about what people think only to realize later that their opinions never really mattered enough? You don't need their approval. You don't need their acceptance. You don't need to fit into a mold that was never built for you. The only thing you need is always remember to live in a way that years from now, when people speak your name, they don't say he was nice, they say he was solid, because popularity fades respect, endures, choose accordingly. 8. You are the storm, not the shelter. Some people spend their entire lives trying to avoid the storm. They tiptoe around conflict, seek comfort over challenge, and mold themselves into whatever shape keeps them safe. They shrink, they adapt, they become small enough to fit into places they were never meant to be. They think that by being agreeable, by making always remember themselves, predictable, by staying out of the way, they will be protected. But what they don't realize is that safety is an illusion. The world does not reward the ones who hide it, does not remember those who made themselves invisible. It remembers those who moved with force, who refused to be controlled, who created change instead of fearing it. And that is why you are not the shelter. You are the storm. You were not made to play small. You were not made to be agreeable at all costs. You were not made to live your life according to the expectations of always remember people who do not even understand you. You were made to disrupt, to challenge, to push past limits. The moment you stop running from the storm and realize that you are the storm, everything changes. Think about a time when you tried to be what others wanted. Maybe you held your tongue when you should have spoken. Maybe you downplayed your ambitions to make others comfortable. Maybe you chose stability over growth because growth meant stepping into the unknown. And what did it bring you? Did it bring peace, or did it leave you feeling hollow always? Remember, disconnected, restless, because deep down you knew you were capable of more. You knew that the life you had settled for was not the one you were meant to live. You knew that every time you held back, you betrayed yourself, and that's why the storm inside you never died. It waited, it watched, and now it's time to let it rise. This is what they don't want. They want you to stay predictable, to stay small, to follow the rules that were never designed for you, because the moment you decide to step into your power, you become a force they can no longer ignore. That is why people fear those who move with certainty. That is why those who dare to think for themselves, who dare to break the cycle, who dare to choose their own path, are seen as dangerous, because the world is built on control, on obedience, on making sure that most people never realize how powerful they truly are. Look at history. The ones who changed the world were never the ones who played it safe. They were the ones who walked into the storm and became it. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome with discipline and control, not because these lessons are more than advice. They are the unbreakable codes of those who lead without noise and rise without asking. Always remember, he sought shelter from hardship, but because he faced it head on. Epictetus endured slavery and still rose above his circumstances, not because he was given permission, but because he took control of his own mind. And now look at your own life. Where have you been playing small? Where have you been choosing comfort over courage? Where have you been allowing others to define your worth enough? You don't need their approval. You don't need permission. You don't need to explain yourself to people who will never understand what you were meant for. Always remember, the storm does not apologize for its strength. The ocean does not ask permission to rise, and neither should you. People will tell you to be careful, to be realistic, to slow down, to think about how your actions affect others, to stay inside the boundaries they've drawn for you. But here's the truth. They don't actually care about your well-being. They care about control. They care about making sure you don't disrupt the comfort they have built for themselves. Let them be comfortable. Let them stay where they are. You have a different path. Pause and consider. You have something inside you that refuses to be silenced. You were not made to sit quietly while life passes, but you were made to move, to build, to create impact. So stop waiting, stop apologizing, stop seeking approval. You are not the shelter, you are the storm. The moment you own that, the moment you step fully into your power, you will realize something incredible. No one was stopping you, but your self-power is not something you ask for, it's something You claim not through words, not through approval, but through the way you carry yourself, through the always remember way you choose to live. Most people spend their lives seeking validation, trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for them. But the ones who stand out, the ones who move with purpose, who refuse to be controlled, those are the ones who reshape the world around them. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need permission to be strong. The moment you realize this, the moment you stop playing by their rules, everything changes. You become unreadable, untouchable, unshakable. They will fear you. They will test you. Always remember, they will try to break you, but that only proves one thing: they know how powerful you are, even if you don't see it yet. So take these lessons and apply them. Practice restraint, master your emotions, walk with presence. Let your actions, not your words, define you. Every day is an opportunity to sharpen yourself, to build a foundation so solid that nothing can shake it. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt this shift in your life? A moment when you realized you no longer needed approval? Share your story in the comments, because your journey might just be the inspiration someone else needs. A simple but powerful truth that, if lived boldly, will reshape every room you walk into. If you felt the spark of your true power while reading this, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Together, we'll build a life of calm certainty, fierce independence, and unstoppable strength. True power doesn't ask for the spotlight. It radiates through quiet self-mastery, consistent action, and the refusal to fold when the world expects you to break. Own your space, sharpen your mind, and move forward with the quiet confidence that terrifies the mediocre. What if the moments when you are disrespected weren't setbacks, but the greatest tests of your true inner power? Imagine being able to face insults, rudeness, and unfair treatment without losing a single ounce of your peace. Today, discover the 10 timeless Stoic principles that transform disrespect into a stepping stone for unstoppable strength and calm resilience. 10 Stoic lessons to handle disrespect, a crucial reminder that the greatest battles are often silent. And 1 Within yourself. Transcript, a crucial reminder that the greatest battles are often silent. And 1 Within yourself. Pause and reflect. How do you deal with disrespect? Disrespect is a common challenge that we all face in life, and it can be very upsetting and frustrating. But what if we could learn from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us how to handle difficult situations with wisdom and grace? In this video, we will explore 10 practical Stoic principles that can help us cope with disrespect in a better way. As usual, I challenge you to be strong and stay with me till the end of the video. Let's begin. 1. Pause and reflect. Keep your calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus said, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take off them. This means that disrespect is not inherently harmful or offensive. It is our interpretation and judgment of it that make us feel hurt or angry. Free. When someone disrespects you, remember that their behavior is a result of their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not a reflection of your true value or worth. Pause and reflect. This can help you keep your calm and not let their disrespect affect your emotional state. 2. Reflect on yourself. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics believed that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we should always strive to improve ourselves and our actions. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you face disrespect, it is essential to reflect on yourself and ask yourself questions like, is there any truth in what the person said or did? Did I do or say anything that provoked this situation? How can I respond in a way that is consistent with my values and virtues? By reflecting on yourself and the situation objectively, you can gain a better understanding of the event and your own role in it. Self-reflection is a Stoic way of ensuring that your responses are based on rational judgment rather than impulsive reactions. It helps you learn from the situation and promotes personal growth and wisdom. 3. Learn to pause. These ancient Stoic strategies remain some of the most effective tools for living above the noise of a chaotic world. Pause and reflect. Seneca once said, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." Stoics believe in the importance of self-control and rationality. They argue that impulsive reactions, driven by intense emotions like anger or frustration, often lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering when faced with disrespect. The Stoic approach encourages you to avoid reacting impulsively. Instead, take a moment to pause and collect your thoughts. This pause allows you to regain control over your emotions and gives you pause and reflect the opportunity to respond in a more measured and thoughtful manner. By resisting the impulse to react immediately, you can better align your response with Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. This approach often leads to more constructive and less emotionally charged interactions when faced with disrespect. Pausing is a key Stoic strategy to maintain composure and make rational decisions when confronted with disrespect, ultimately leading to more positive outcomes and personal growth. 4. Have empathy. Epictetus and other pause and reflect. Influential Stoic philosopher says, "Seek not the good in external things. Seek it in yourselves." Stoics believe in the interconnectedness of humanity and that understanding the motivations and emotions of others can lead to better interactions and personal growth. When someone shows disrespect, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. Empathy can help you see the situation from a different angle and realize that the person's disrespect may not be pause and reflect, personal or intentional. It may be caused by their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. Empathy can also help you feel compassion for the person and reduce your negative feelings towards them. By empathizing with the person who disrespected you can avoid taking their words or actions personally and respond in a more respectful and dignified manner. Empathy helps you to understand the person's perspective, feelings, and motivations. Instead of getting angry or defensive, you can respond with kindness and respect. This way, you can avoid escalating the conflict and maintain your dignity. Empathy also reflects the Stoic principles of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement. It enables you to learn from challenging situations and grow as a person. By practicing empathy, you can cope with disrespect in a more positive and constructive way. Before I proceed, count yourself as an exception for making it this far into the video. Now that you have shown how strong you are, let's make it till the end of the video. 5. These ancient Stoic strategies remain some of the most effective tools for living above the noise of a chaotic world. Pause and reflect. Concentrate on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues such as wisdom and courage. These are the qualities that help us live well and act rightly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing else than right reason. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life and that everything else is indifferent when we face disrespect from others. Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. Pause and reflect. This does not mean that we should ignore or tolerate the disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as a person. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves, even in difficult situations. 6. Embrace acceptance. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is to accept the things that are not in our control, such as the disrespect of others. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This means that we should be grateful for what we have and not worry about what we lack. Stoicism also teaches us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not, which is known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We can Only control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions, but not these ancient Stoic strategies, remain some of the most effective tools for living above the noise of a chaotic world. Pause and reflect. External events or the behavior of others, therefore, when we face disrespect, we should not let it affect our inner peace. Instead, we should accept it as a part of life and focus on what we can do to improve ourselves and our situation. By accepting disrespect with stoicism, we can avoid unnecessary anger, frustration, and resentment. We can also learn from the experience and grow as a person. This helps us to deal with disrespect in a rational and calm way. 7. Pause and reflect. Use humor. Sometimes a little laughter goes a long way. As the ancient philosopher Seneca said, you have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously. Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, but it also recognizes the value of humor in coping with challenging situations. Humor can help us keep our emotional balance and avoid getting too angry or annoyed when someone disrespects us. Instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, we can choose to respond with a witty remark or a playful joke. Of always remember, coarse humor should not be used inappropriately or excessively, but it can be a useful Stoic technique to handle disrespect in a way that creates a more positive and peaceful outcome. 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism is not about being a doormat, it's about being a rock that stands firm in the face of disrespect and injustice, a rock that knows its worth and demands respect from others, a rock that controls what it can and lets go of what it can't. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to take it lying down. You don't have to lash out in anger. Either you can be calm and assertive, you can tell them what they did wrong and how you expect them to treat you. You can set clear and reasonable boundaries that protect your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to be strong, just, and courageous. It teaches us to respect ourselves and others. It teaches us to maintain our inner control and our outer dignity in any situation. 9. Choose forgiveness. Imagine someone disrespects you. How do you react? These ancient Stoic strategies remain some of the most effective tools for living above the noise of a chaotic world. Pause and reflect. Lash out in anger, or do you let it go? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism has some wisdom to offer. Stoics believe that forgiveness is not a favor to the other person, but a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace and happiness. But forgiveness is not easy. It does not mean forgetting or approving what happened. It means choosing to release the negative emotions that are hurting you more than anyone else. Stoics say that we should forgive all, but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely with compassion and pause and reflect. Just as Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We can't control how others behave, but we can control how we respond. We can choose to forgive and free ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. We can choose to move on with a sense of inner peace and tranquility. That's what Stoicism means by forgiveness. It's not a weakness but a strength. It's not a surrender but a victory. It's not a sacrifice but a reward. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of self-care and personal growth. Always remember. 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the ability to see things from a broader and more objective point of view. It helps you to avoid overreacting or taking things personally when someone disrespects you. Instead, it helps you to realize that disrespect is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. As the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius said, our life is what our thoughts make it. When you use perspective, you can see that most cases of disrespect are minor and temporary. They do not affect your true worth. Or pause and reflect. Happiness. You can also see that disrespect is often a reflection of the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, not yours. You can choose to ignore it, forgive it, or learn from it rather than letting it bother you. Perspective also helps you to focus on what really matters in life, your goals, values, and virtues. You can use your energy and time to pursue what is good and meaningful for you, rather than wasting them on resentment or revenge. By doing so, you can live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. So next time you face, pause and reflect. Disrespect. Remember to use perspective. It will help you to keep your cool and act wisely. Always remember that Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions, but managing them well. By applying these 10 principles, you can stay calm and strong when you face disrespect and rude behavior. Leave a thumbs up to help us reach more people in search of ancient wisdom. If you are new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more lessons on ancient wisdom. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in our next video. To watch more Stoic wisdom videos, select one of the videos that will appear on your screen. Now stay stoic. A crucial reminder that the greatest battles are often silent and won within yourself. If these Stoic lessons sparked something within you, and you're ready to rise above life's daily challenges with unshakable strength, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Together, let's build a life of discipline, clarity, and quiet power, one timeless lesson at a time. Remember, true power is not about avoiding disrespect, but about mastering your mind so completely that no insult can touch your peace. In a world full of noise and chaos, the Stoic mind stands calm, focused only on what truly matters.